A new partnership will help Los Angeles fight the COVID-19 pandemic, how USC is playing a part.
Restaurants continue to struggle during stay-at-home orders, how businesses are coping when they are staples in a community.
And a USC group offering support to a senior living community, how they are doing so from a distance.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
This would be the week to stay home, and it may be next week as well, as cases continue to mount. But we do ask people try to make other arrangements so that you're not going out of your house.
Los Angeles County is expecting COVID-19 cases to grow exponentially this week as more people get infected. I'm Caleb Michael reporting from Brentwood.
And I'm Nicola Wenz reporting from West Hollywood. The public health director urges people to stay at home if possible.
We want to encourage grocery stores and pharmacies to offer free delivery services wherever possible to those at higher risk for serious illness from COVID-19. Whenever you're leaving your home to procure or provide essential services, and you're going to be either in a public or a private setting with other people who are not members of your household, we ask that you please wear a clean cloth face covering at all times.
In LA County, there are more than 6,300 cases of COVID-19 reported by the CDC and 147 deaths. And across the country, there are more than 330,000 cases reported by the CDC. The number of deaths is nearly 9,000.
USC's ATVN and Young Academy is partnering with the LA Protects Initiative to help the shortage of protective gear for hospital workers. I'm Ella Katz, and I'm reporting from Chicago. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti paid a visit to the Academy's makerspace on Sunday. ATVN and Young is using its advanced 3D printing technology to produce face shields and N95 masks for those on the front lines. We spoke to a recent ATVN and Young graduate to see what this process has been like.
With the shield, you could produce maybe 8 within a minute and 20 seconds. That is the plastic wraparound face shield. Printing takes a lot longer, but you're probably more than likely to be able to reuse that and disinfect that. So yeah, we've kind of optimized the workflow, figure out, what's the best way that we can manage printing as much as we can with the time that we can. Now, knowing that ventilator use is limited, how do we kind of allow for multiple people to use one at a time? So that's something that else, in addition to the mask and face shields, both usable and disposable, that it's being worked on.
As countries struggle to ration out personal protective equipment, South Korea has resorted to a unique distribution system. Reporting from South Korea, I'm Alexander Song. Citizens of South Korea have been assigned certain days for when they can purchase protective masks depending on the last digit of their birth year. Mondays are reserved for people whose birth year ends with 1 or 6, Tuesdays for 2 and 7, Wednesdays for 3 and 8, Thursdays for 4 and 9, and Fridays for 5 and 0. So for anyone born in 1999, would be able to purchase a mask on Thursdays since the last digit of their birth year was 9. The weekend is open for anyone who wasn't able to purchase masks on the weekday. Each person can purchase up to 2 masks for 3,000 won, which is equivalent to $2.45. These masks can be bought at any pharmacy or at post offices for any areas without an available pharmacy. People purchasing masks must provide a Social Security ID card so they can be registered into a government system for the day to prevent further purchases for the week. The mask provided through the system is the KF94 masks, which are disposable masks that are equivalent to the N95 masks. While N95 masks have a particle filtration efficiency of 95%, KF94 masks provide at least 94%.
As millions of Americans file for unemployment each week, college seniors are about to graduate into a job market full of uncertainty. I'm Sarah Legray in Riverside, California. I talked with USC alumni who graduated during the 2008 recession, as well as some soon-to-be grads about this shared experience.
I graduated in 2008, which, as many of you remember, was also a very, very tough time. There was a huge financial crisis.
Really, before me, everyone was getting multiple job offers, and you start to think that's the norm, and then unexpected circumstances happened. And when I graduated, we were in a much different job market.
I had lots of friends that had these really marquee job offers from Bear Stearns, Lehman Brothers, etc., only to have them completely taken away, obviously, when companies fell apart and collapsed and went bankrupt.
As the virus controls the timetable of this economic downfall, current USC students worry about their future.
Unfortunately, none of the companies that I've talked to are hiring.
It's definitely gotten rid of some of my optimism about getting a job right after school.
However, in the midst of this crisis, animation student John Stover can still find a silver lining.
Like the biggest hope I have for animation is that you can work remotely on an animated film or show.
Much like the class of 2008 and 2009, graduating students need to think differently in terms of career building.
It's being creative and sort of thinking through what could be a short-term project I could do through the summer that could then lead to a job, or at least continue to build my skills as I wait for the economy, the job market to start hiring again.
Alcantara says using virtual campus resources, polishing up a resume, and staying connected with potential employers are all ways to stay productive during this unprecedented time. For Annenberg Media, I'm Sarah Allegre.
The National Restaurant Association estimates that the industry lost about $25 billion in sales and over 3 million jobs in the first 22 days of March amid the coronavirus pandemic. Now that number is expected to increase within the next 3 months. I'm Kelly Miller in Culver City, just 10 miles from a California icon that had to close its doors for the first time in over 3 decades.
I'm getting a little homesick. I haven't felt this way since I went to camp as a kid. I miss the whole excitement of running a restaurant.
Ron Schur, who goes by Captain Ron, has owned the Galley since 1989. It's one of the oldest restaurants and bars in West Los Angeles, and on any given day, the Santa Monica icon is packed with regulars.
I have people who have been with me for 30 years, and they consider it home.
On March 15, Governor Gavin Newsom ordered bars, pubs, and nightclubs to close their doors. For the Galley, this meant a complete stop to business until further notice, even for pickup orders.
I didn't feel it was right to expose people. It's just not worth it. It wouldn't be monetarily effective, and I don't know how many people would want to work.
One of Captain Ron's workers, Angie, has bartended and served at the Galley for 25 years.
I told her that, I'd give her Christmas bonus early if she needs any help, so she knows that I'm there for her.
In 30 years, Captain Ron has never closed his restaurant, not even in the 2008 recession.
I tell everybody, Kelly, we're not in the restaurant business. We're in the be-back business, and we try to get customers to come back. And a lot of people say, I don't feel like eating out tonight, let's go to the Galley, because they consider it like home.
As soon as restaurants reopen, Captain Ron, who's 74, says he'll be at the Galley for the rest of his life, keeping the ship afloat. For Annenberg Media, I'm Kelly Miller.
A local Asian restaurant is adapting to the pandemic. I'm Elle Davidson, reporting live from the Bayview neighborhood in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hungry Sumo, an Asian bistro and sushi bar, has been doing what they can to stay open during our crisis.
We take pride of cleanliness of our restaurant and the staff, and also for the safety for customer too. And we just transition our restaurant to be just to go only. We feel like we're lucky that our community, let's say in Bayview, or our neighbors, they're very kind to us, and they all supported us a lot. Even the person who are our clients, who are our customers, they always send us a text or send us in the message through Instagram or Facebook. It's good to see others supporting each other.
So especially someplace like Bayview, I think the local businesses are really, really critical. And they're not all going to survive, but enough of them have to for the community to maintain its identity in some local business space.
With the move to online classes, School of Dramatic Arts students and professors are adapting to their new online reality and the challenges it poses.
Unfortunately, I think it can't be helped, and the university is doing their best, but arts majors, I think, really can't take their classes online. We need to be together in person, especially acting. It's a collaborative effort. You can't do it by yourself.
For example, all my students are on mute, so we don't get that audience laughter or that audience sensibility as a performer. I myself am constantly engaging with my students throughout a class. My students laugh, but I created a soundboard with audience cheering and a laugh track and all kinds of things, oohs and ahs that after they play.
After reports of a tiger at Newark's Bronx Zoo tested positive for COVID-19, many people are concerned about the possible transmission of the virus to and from animals. We talked to a veterinary surgeon to find out more.
Can be contaminated with the virus temporarily. So if someone either directly coughs or sneezes on the pet or touches their own face and then goes ahead and touches their pet's fur, any way you can contaminate any other surface with the virus particles, you can contaminate your pet's fur. The good news is that it doesn't last very long on pet fur, so we think it's a matter of hours, like maybe about up to 4 hours or so, before the virus particles would be destroyed on a porous surface like pet fur.
In a statement, the CDC says, in the United States, there is no evidence to suggest that any animals, including pets, livestock, or wildlife, might be a source of COVID-19 infection at this time. Because all animals can carry germs that make people sick, it's always a good idea to practice healthy habits around pets and other animals.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Islas, reporting from Los Baños, California. We're now in week 4 without sports, and a lot of people are just thinking, when will sports be back? Even President Trump is hopeful that sports can resume play by late summer or early fall, as he told league commissioners this weekend. After the meeting, Trump said, quote, "They want to get back. They've got to get back. They can't do this. Their sports weren't designed for it. The whole concept of our nation wasn't designed for it." Now, here are the current timetables for the major sports return. The NFL is still set to begin the 2020 season as scheduled in September. The MLB is hoping to start games in mid-June without fans, which is almost 3 months after opening day was supposed to happen. The NBA is looking at a mid to late June return and is starting to consider canceling the remainder of the regular season, and the NHL has not released an estimated return. Now, these projections are not official and are likely to change as health officials continue to release updated recommendations as the coronavirus pandemic continues to evolve. Now let's send it over to Julia Adams, who has a report on the USC water polo team.
Thanks for that update, Liz. I'm Julia Adams reporting from Whitefish, Montana. The USC women's water polo team was number 1 in the country before their season was cut short because of the coronavirus. Earlier today, I spoke to sophomore utility Bailey Weber on her season being cut short and how she is training at home.
It was kind of sad when we first, heard it. We were all shocked. We didn't really want to, obviously, believe it. We were just so dumbfounded, I guess you could say.
USC's water polo teams face an even greater challenge since most players don't have access to a pool. Weber said she had to transition all of her workouts to on land.
So I've honestly been just running and trying to do what our athletic coaches or trainers have sent us, step ups, squats, those type of things. But it's so weird because you have to do that 10 times more than you do when you're in the pool, obviously.
Weber said that the silver lining in all of this is that she gets to spend more quality time with her family. She plans to use the extra year that the NCAA granted spring athletes to play another year and get her master's. Caleb and Nicola, back to you guys.
Passover begins Wednesday at sundown, and Easter is this Sunday. Many places of worship across the country have moved to online services. We had the chance to speak to a churchgoer who has embraced the new gathering style.
I can imagine that our numbers will be pretty high for online streaming. I don't think it will negatively affect the people who are wanting to see church. If anything, I think there are some people who maybe want to tune into church on Easter, but aren't at a place in their lives to physically go. So I feel like it might even increase the amount of people who get to watch church.
A student group at USC isn't letting the coronavirus stop their outreach. Reporting from San Diego, I'm Monica Cooper. USC's Glamour Gals typically visits the Belmont Village senior living community in Hollywood Hills to provide residents with manicures. But due to quarantine measures, the group is now using other means of communication to stay in touch with the residents.
We're hoping to get our volunteers involved in some other initiatives that have phone chains. So for example, the Student Gerontology Association is going to have an intergenerational phone chain program. We're trying to set up video chats and virtual visits with the residents.
We are participating in this movement that Nationals is putting forth called the hashtag My Dear Friend campaign. And essentially it's letter writing, especially the seniors that we work with, they love a handwritten letter. And to them, that means so much more often than like an email or even a FaceTime.
It's something that you could be doing with your family, so it doesn't have to be something that just the Glamour Gals volunteer is doing.
Really, anyone and everyone can participate in this.
People can contact at USC Glamour Gals on Instagram for more information on how to participate.
Thank you for watching. We will continue to post newscasts right here on Annenberg Media's YouTube channel.
And for our continuous coverage on COVID-19, head to uscannenbergmedia.com. Everyone, please stay safe and have a great night.